What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today in Hypixel Skyblock, the admins finally released the final update of the Catacombs. This update includes a lot of quality of life changes, as well as the introduction of M7, as well as a complete revamp of Floor 7. In this video, I'll be going over all of the changes that were added to Floor 7, as well as all of the changes that were added to M7, and how you will actually be fighting the Wither King at the end of M7. And of course, you may be asking me, Vintus, are you actually qualified to talk about M7? Because I don't think you are actually good enough to play it. And the answer is, no, I'm not good enough to play it. You're right. But I do have the advantage to have access to other people's live streams and videos, including someone called Refraction. I'm going to be using essentially Refraction's stream. Like, I took a snip of his fight against the Wither King, and I'll be analyzing that and what he does. I will also leave a link of Refraction's channel down in the description below. I'm pretty sure all of my subscribers are already subscribed to Refraction anyways, but yeah, thank you, Refraction. And let's get right into the video. Alright, so now we are in the new Floor 7 boss fight, and as you can see here, the first phase is still the crystal phase, but the boss is now Maxor. Of course, for now this doesn't really change, but it does once you're able to bring Maxor to the crystal and hit him. As you can see here, Maxor simply became enraged, but he did not die and did not get stuck by the laser. Essentially, what you need to do afterwards is you need to go and get the crystals again and drag him back. Additionally, you can also see that Maxor drops TNT below him as he's fighting, which is an extra feature that Necron did not have. Once you bring him back under the laser a second time, you can simply bow him down and you kill him just like that. Then you have to go and drop down into phase 2 of the boss fight, which is held by Storm. And here we are in phase 2 of the Necron boss fight, and once again this is quite similar. At first it seems like almost the same fight, but once again you do not see the boss here. And then Storm arrives and you simply have to fight them, and they're just shooting fireballs at you. As you can see here, my whole team is simply camping under the pillar, because in this stage you can't actually yet crush Storm, and you just have to hide while the countdown goes down, and she will use her Giga Lightning, which one taps any player. But if you're under the pillars, you will not die. Then she goes similar to what Necron usually does. They aggro, and you can then crush them under the pillar. However, this is where the next change arrives, where Storm has to be crushed twice. As you can see here, we took down half her health, but she did not die, and we have to fight her again and crush her again. But before that, she's going to go up against our shooting fireballs, and we once again have to camp under a pillar to not die to her Giga Lightning. After the lightning is over, Storm will then go back into aggro phase, and you can simply crush her again and end her second phase. Defeating Storm, you can then go and move on to phase 3, where we will be facing Goldor. And dropping down to phase 3, the terminal phase. Once again, it appears like this is almost the same thing as usual. However, there are some key changes that have been added here. First of all, more terminals have been added, and you can no longer skip different phases. So people can no longer go to 2, 3, and 4 while someone takes care of 1. So now, of course, everyone has to just do one phase at a time, and then the coolest change is introduced. Goldor arrives, and he's throwing gigantic golden swords at you. I think that's such a cool feature, and it's a really interesting thing that he does, where he essentially just throws swords at you. And these swords will be doing true knockback, which will make it really annoying when you're trying to do especially some of the longer terminals. As you can see here, he's got the flying swords and everyone just trying to do the terminals, but he can easily knock you off your terminal and make you have to restart. As you can see here, true knockback. I got knocked back even though I had a Shelmeted Whale. Then we just take care of that, finish the phase, and move on. It's a pretty straightforward boss fight, and the rest is essentially the same thing, but of course it's slower because you can't skip any of the phases now. And we are now here introduced to our first new terminal, which is the only one I got in this run, and it's essentially where you have to make every single tile the same color. You can choose whichever one you want, but I chose to go with blue. You just click them. It's a really strange one. I think These were mainly made with the fact that you can't really insta do them with solvers in mind. So it actually takes time to do these and can't really be helped by solvers. Of course, there are also several other new terminals, but I haven't seen them yet, but you can definitely check them out. But eventually you'll obviously discover how to do them, and then they'll be pretty straightforward. They seem to be pretty easy, some of them be like reflex tests and everything. Overall they seem to be not too bad. Once all the terminals are complete and the gate to the core entrance opens, we are into the final change of the Goldor boss fight. You arrive in the core entrance and actually you're going to go here and you're going to actually fight Goldor in this hallway, which is very interesting for me. And you essentially just fight him brute force. He throws Wither Skulls, you fight back until he dies. It's a pretty simple fight once you're done with the terminals, of course, and then you're up to for the final phase of the floor 7 boss fight. Here you'll be fighting the man himself, Necron, and apart from a new entry thing where they make you fall in lava, the fight is incredibly similar. However, Necron is tankier and has 1 billion health. He deals more damage, and he actually blinds you while going to the middle, which I don't know what it really does. He just kind of does that. It did leave me kind of confused the first time I fought him though, so it might be a evasion technique, I don't know. As we can see, we're just dropping itself super fast. But then he starts dropping TNT and actually goes into this sword form similar to what Goldor does. I'm actually very surprised when I saw it. He just throws knockback diamond swords at you. They don't seem to be really dealing a lot of damage, but of course we are quite tanky. We have a tank and my HP is pretty high. So he might be dealing damage or he might just be doing knockback. I'm not exactly sure, but then once you beat him, the fight is quite similar, although he has a different death animation that launches TNT everywhere. And that's about it. That is the floor 7 boss fight here. And we ended up getting S in this run. As you can see additionally, this run took 13 minutes and 40 seconds. That is outrageously long. But they said that they will be increasing the amount of Catacombs XP you get. And they will also be increasing the amount, like the chances of drops and the overall loot tables, which is really good. And as you can see here, we did end up getting 62,000 Catacombs XP, which is about double of what we used to get beforehand. And we're now going to be going over this clip of Refraction's live stream to go over the final M7 Wither King fight. As you can see here, they start off by simply bringing these like jewels, I guess, from different ones to their respective chalices in the color, for color-wise. And they just don't want to get killed by all these skeleton things that kind of look like Skeletor Primes, but are not quite the same in design, the skin design. Then, after bringing all of these crystals, the Wither King will awaken alongside his dragons. This is actually really cool for me. As you will see in a second there, the Wither King will appear on his throne. And it's just absolutely insane. So here we have him, the Wither King, a gigantic wither with like tentacles around him, I would assume. And then, once he is here, he will spawn his Ender Dragons. He's spawning 5 Ender Dragons in total, and essentially what they need to do here is they need to, I think, kill the Ender Dragons when they are in front of their altar, or simply kill the Ender Dragons. I'm not exactly sure how it works. I don't know the details, or they might just have to push the Ender Dragon into their respective altars. I'm not 100% sure once again, but it just seems like a really difficult fight considering all these guys are literally maxed out players, and they can't even deal the damage to kill these dragons, for a while at least. Then, they just simply kill each dragon. Each dragon has its own ability and its own color. As you can see here, they're dragging this dragon to his respective color, they're dragging the orange dragon to his respective color, and everything, and every time they do that, they are damaging the Wither King. And eventually, they are able to bring the final dragon to his color, and this, in turn, defeats the Wither King. Just like that, he is defeated, and I believe it is a guaranteed S+ if you're able to beat him, or even Necron in M7, which is a really cool feature they added. And yeah, it's honestly a really interesting boss fight. Of course, I am by no means qualified to play it, but as you can see here on Refraction's team, they were able to defeat M7 and the Wither King, completing the story of the Catacombs in Hypixel Skyblock. Well guys, that's about it. I hope you guys did enjoy this video, and if you did, please make sure to leave a like and also subscribe. Of course, I may have missed some details about the changes, but the vast majority of all changes have been included in this video, and I hope you guys learned something new from it. And guys, we've been getting a lot of updates in the past few days here in Hypixel Skyblock, so if you want to stay up to date, make sure to be subscribed to my channel and to watch some of my other videos describing the Nether revamp and other changes that were added by the admins. Additionally, if you want to know what texture packs and mods I am using, make sure to join the Discord server because I have a channel there that has all of these details, because I've been having a lot of people ask me how you get these mods, what texture pack you're using and everything. Additionally, make sure to also join for giveaways there that I'm hosting every now and then for millions of Skyblock coins. But that's pretty much it guys. I hope you guys all have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you for watching this whole video and tuning in, and I'll see you guys in the next one.